Good evening, heathens. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Tonight's video is about cold, icy thrills and chills, thrillers with a proper winter setting. So it's getting colder. We are wrapping up. It's chilly out there. And one of my favorite things to do is read kind of really dark, scary stories, and they can be supernatural or not, but I kind of like the thrillers, the gothic feel. It really suits the atmosphere, it really suits the mood, and it kind of makes those stories even more scary and really like puts you in them, and I love that. So I have a stack of those kind of novels here that all have those cold, icy settings that I'm going to be reading, and hopefully you can enjoy as well. But I am going to start with a non-fiction book, so this has also kind of influenced this video. So it's this one here. It's called The Dead of Winter, and it's by Sarah Clegg. And what this book does is it really kind of delves into the dark side of Christmas, or the dark side of Yule, this time of year. It really is a time of darkness. And, you know, the days are getting shorter and shorter, the nights are longer, and there's a lot of mythology and stories around this time of year that involve witches and sort of Krampus and demons, and it's not all fun and tinsel. So if you're like me and you hate Mariah Carey singing Christmas carols, you can read this because this will give you some dark side of Christmas and you can play death metal in the background. Welcome to Christmas at my house. But yeah, this is beautiful. I think there's some illustrations in it as well, but this is definitely going to be on my required reading list over the Christmas holidays, and I'm really looking forward to that one. So moving on to the thrillers, I do have a little stack here. So these are all ones that I've kind of collected and I'm planning on getting to this December season, so December, January. The first one here is The Ice Coven by Max Seek. Now this sounds perfect for the season. So it says, a young woman's corpse washes up on a near frozen Helsinki beach. Also, side note, Finland, really cold, perfect atmosphere, Scandinavia for this time of year. At the same time, two famous Instagram influencers go missing from the city, and Jessica, who is our detective in the series, is thrown into the darkest case of her career. Jessica discovers that all three have ties to a cult, whose forms of worship involve unspeakable acts of cruelty and violence. Side note, this is why I like thrillers this time of year, because human beings, they're the fucking scariest. As she finds herself frantically hunting the truth, an old enemy emerges and threatens to destroy her. Now, I do believe that there is another kind of detective novel in this series, but I don't think you have to read them both. And this story is it's just perfect for this time of year and sounds so good. Again, anything with cults, I am so there. Then the next one, I bought this months ago, but I had to leave it for this time of year. And this is Bone White by Ronald Malfi. And this basically starts off a landscape of frozen darkness, a scrape of bone on bone. I mean, that's kind of all you needed to know, but I'll tell you more. Paul Gallo saw the report on the news, a mass murderer leading to police to investigate graves in a remote Alaskan village. It's not even a town, more like a bad memory of one. The same bit of wilderness where Paul's twin brother went missing a year ago. As the bodies are exhumed, Paul travels to Alaska to get closure and put his grief to rest. But the mystery is only beginning. What Paul finds are suspicious locals who talk of the devil stealing souls and a line of wooden crosses surrounding the woods, not to honour the dead, but to keep what's lurking there from escaping. A moment of silence for that synopsis. That just sounds incredible. And again, it's giving me those kind of cult vibes like Ice Coven. So I have such high hopes for that. Then another author who I've actually read one book from, which I really, really enjoyed. And I kind of want to continue with her books. And this is Darcy Coates. And this is Dead of Winter. Again, I purchased this a few months ago, probably in the summer, and was like, yeah, that's being read in winter. So this is 8 strangers, 1 killer, nowhere left to run. When Krista joins a tour group heading deep into the Rocky Mountains, she's hopeful this will be her last chance to put the ghosts of her past to rest. But when a bitterly cold snowstorm sweeps the region, the small group is forced to take shelter in an abandoned hunting cabin. That is never a good idea. I've seen way too many movies that go sideways. Despite the uncomfortable claustrophobic quarters and rapidly dropping temperatures, Christina believes they are safe as they wait out the storm. She couldn't be more wrong. So it feels like people are going to stop dropping dead. I love a close quarters, confined sort of thriller whodunit. Then There Were None is one of my favorite favorite thrillers of all time, Agatha Christie. I can't speak tonight. Agatha Christie classic. And I think this just sounds, it's giving me those vibes, but in a snowstorm. Oh, it's perfect winter thriller. And like I said, Darcy Coates, I really loved the book I read. I've got another one on my shelves. I really want to read more from her. Then this one. This is Crow Moon by Susie Aspley. So this one is very much in that kind of gothic, dark gothic vibe. So this is Strathburn, Scotland, a village steeped in folklore and impenetrable mists and a horrifying mystery. So this immediately kind of gave me shades back to that non-fiction book about kind of mythology around this time of year. So it says Martha is struggling to find purpose in her life. After giving up her career as an investigative journalist, when her young twin died in a house fire, overwhelmed by guilt and grief, her life changes when she stumbles across the body of a missing teenager, a tragedy that turns even more sinister when a poem about crows is discovered inked on his back. Oh, that just gives me chills already. When another teenager goes missing in the remote landscape, Martha is drawn into the investigation, teaming up with DCI Derek as a malevolent rumour begins to spread and paranoia grows. As darkness descends on the village of Strathburn, it soon becomes clear that no one is safe, including Martha. Both a nerve-shattering, enthralling and atmospheric thriller. This just sounds fabulous. So this really has those kind of grief, gothic, dark vibes that I really love. I mean, the idea of a poem about a crow being scrawled on someone's body. Yeah. Am I weird? That sounds amazing. Then, talking about the supernatural, The Gathering by C.J. Tudor. I have so been wanting to read this. I've literally had to stop myself from picking it up. Like physically, like I had to put something else in my hand because this just sounds fabulous. I mean, just even the front. Welcome to Death Heart, Alaska, population 673 living. So obviously this is set in Alaska. I had to leave it for this time of the year. This is part of my vampire reads for the last couple of months. So let's see what this one is about. So a boy is found with his throat ripped out, the blood drained from his body. It's not the first such killing, and the town knows who to blame, the vampire colony in the mountains. But out-of-state detective Barbara Akins thinks the evidence doesn't stack up. People are lying, and Dead Heart has a history of dark secrets. The snow keeps falling, but so do the victims. Time is running out for Barbara. Is she hunting a cold-blooded murderer or a bloodthirsty monster? And who do they all fear the most? Oh, this is just giving me like 30 Days of Night. Cannot wait to read that. Then the next one is called Freeze. And this is by Kate Samantz. And again, obviously, the cover was like, yeah, this is perfect for this time of year. But also, I really love the premise of this because I like books that are about reality shows. I like books that are like about podcasts, about films, sort of about media. And this one is about a reality show. So it says, Frozen Out is set to be a TV sensation. On a small ship off the coast of Greenland, 6 contestants will push themselves to breaking point for a £100,000 prize. The show is Tori Matsako's baby. After years of working her way up the ladder, she's finally launching her career and her own production company, and everything is riding on the show. But as errors and mishaps mount on set, tempers among the cast and crew start to fray, and when one of the contestants is found dead, only Dee realises that death wasn't natural, and from what she sees from behind the camera, it won't be the last. So this sounds amazing. So they're like in the Arctic on the ship again, close quarters. They can't get out. That just, I mean, yes, that just sounds like the perfect winter thriller. And then my last one, because I couldn't resist. So if you're still here, enjoy Little Vampire Women. So I bought this a while ago and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is just going to be so much fun. So this is a retelling, if it wasn't obvious, of Louisa May Alcott's Little Women. And it is Little Vampire Women, and it is set at Christmas. So this is probably going to be my Christmas read because I'm that kind of a person. And I mean, who doesn't want a Christmas retelling of Little Women with vampires in it? I mean, there may be people who don't want it, but I do. So anyway, so that was my lot. Let me know if you're going to read any of those. If you've read anything kind of thriller-wise that is set in like a cold, icy setting, please let me know. I'm always open for recommendations. And if you're here this far, thank you so much. Leave me an icy, wintry snowflake emoji, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye-bye.